All right. Hi, everyone, and hi, Isabel. Thank you so much for
Hi.
coming today. We're really excited to be here today and have Leah with us. So, Leah is a community professional, a circles facilitator, and a yoga teacher. And she started her journey in community building about 3 years ago. Since then, connection and bringing together people has been a really big passion of hers, as I'm sure is the case with a lot of us as community people. What she focuses on is creating safe and healing spaces where people can get to know themselves and each other better. That's why she's focusing now on building conscious communities that foster deeper seeing, accepting, and understanding of who we are. So, really excited to hear about some self care tips today. And Leah, I'll pass it off to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tiffany. And yeah, I'm very, very happy to be here and to share some self-care tips and also some practical things now with you. Before we start, I just wanted to share that for me, it was very important to do this in May, which is the Mental Health Awareness Month. And as community manager and professional, I experienced a lot of downfalls and upgoings. I guess all of us they are and did, um, because it often we tend to forget to like really take care of of ourselves and then to actually be able to take care of the community. And when I started with my yoga journey last year as a teacher, because last year I got my certification, I realized that there are so many things that can be added from the yoga and from this approach, which is a lot about mindfulness and consciousness and holistic approaches into community building, and also as a way for self-care for community builders. So today we'll, as I mentioned, not only talk. My idea is to also have this holistic approach of getting into the body, getting into the mind, feeling, sensing, really being here. Um, so we'll start with some different things. I'll just share my screen and I hope you see it. And before we start, I just wanted to invite you to yeah, create this calm environment for yourself. We tend to be very distracted and we tend to have a lot of tasks during the day, and we don't really pay attention to 100% attention to many of the things that we are doing in the moment. So I would really advise you to put your phone on mute for this 1 hour, to be really present here, to try to eliminate any distractions, to have no more multitasking at the moment. So if you are checking your email or your notifications, you can have this 1 hour for yourself. They won't run away. They will be still there after this workshop. And then, of course, because you have some sharing time, I will ask you to have to keep this confidentiality of the meeting. So, and here is a safe space. I want everybody to feel that it's a space where we can share, and it's important that we keep this awareness. And before we start and tune into more of talking and sharing, I will ask you to stand up for the one for your sitting, and we'll do some shaking. And the shaking is a very helpful exercise to get through into the body. And even if it's morning for you, or even if it's the end of the working day, it will really help you feel the energy of the body. So let me just um, open my Spotify. And before I turn the music on, I will be shaking with you as well. I will ask you to, yeah, stand up. You can just close your eyes for a moment and feel the earth beneath you. You can take on deep breaths through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And I would advise you to stay with closed eyes just to feel as much comfortable as you can. And here we will slowly start shaking the body. with the music. So we'll start slowly shaking our legs, just slowly from the feet, being still connected to the earth, just shaking the legs. Our upper body stays still as much as it can, and we just shake the legs. And just try to invite this movement coming from the earth through the legs. Really try to move the legs and shake them. And you can start maybe shake one of the legs and move it from the earth, shake the other leg, and just really also maybe starting to jump with your feet. Just really feeling the body. Feel where the body is a bit more stagnant, if there is any constrictions in the body. And you can start slowly engaging also the hips and the waist and shaking there as well. Just feel the whole lower body, how you can shake it. You can jump a bit. If you need, you can inhale again through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And you can start engaging also the upper body. So you can engage the arms, you can engage the shoulders, the back, maybe moving from side to side. And don't think how you're looking. It's normal if we are looking a bit stupid in this movement, but it's nice for the body. Just shake a bit more. And you can add more the head as well. Maybe jump a bit, really shake. And here you can imagine how you're shaking all tension out of the body, all stress out of the body. If there is some energy which is stuck somewhere in the body, just really try to shake it out. And these are just a couple more seconds, so really give everything out. Exhaling through the mouth if needed. And you can slowly make the movements a bit smaller and come to stillness. Still with your eyes closed, still being up, standing with your feet on the ground. Take one inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and feel here the body. Feel the vibration of the body, the energy, and how this movement actually clears our space, our internal space, and how it helps us really make more space for more creativity, more connection, really being able to give from this space. And now I'll slowly invite you to again sit on your chair, or if you prefer, you can also sit on the ground. And here you can either stay with your feet on the ground and with your sitting bones on the chair, or you can also sit with the sitting bones on the ground, cross-legged. And I'll ask you to close your eyes, preparing for short meditation. And usually it's very nice when we do meditation to first move the body, because this way we allow the energy to really flow out of the body, the things that we don't need, and we can really invite this tranquility, this calmness. And here, with closed eyes, if this is comfortable for you, I'll invite you to take one deep inhale through the nose, in the belly, and exhale through the mouth. Taking one more inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Oh. And one last time, inhale through the nose and we exhale through the mouth. And here, after this movement, the shaking that we did, just notice how your body is feeling right now. Start observing if there are any points that are feeling a bit more constricted, a bit more tense. And with each exhale, try to bring some relaxation to this body part. Maybe this is the upper back, the neck, maybe the arms or the legs. Just observe here your body and allow it to relax with each exhale more and more. And I invite you here to connect a bit with your senses so that you can really arrive in the present moment. So notice all touch points of your body with the ground or with the chair. Notice the feet on the ground or the sitting bones on the ground. Observe also every point of your body that is being touched by another body part. Maybe this would be the feet touching each other or the hands resting on your thighs. Just observe these points of contact. And you can notice this sensation both ways. For example, how the hands are touching the leg and how the leg is touching the hands. Really allowing your body to be present here with the sensation. Noticing also the way your clothes are touching your skin. Also maybe the temperature in the air and how is this temperature affecting your skin as well. Just really tune into this sensation. Don't forget to breathe through the nose and exhale again through the nose. Allowing the body to be filled with this fresh air, the air that is really energizing us and bringing life force into our field. Observe also any noises that you're hearing, the smells in the space where you are. If you're with closed eyes, observe how the light is coming to your eyelids and also notice the taste in your mouth. Tuning into the full senses and the full spectrum of the senses. In this present moment. And we will slowly move the attention towards our emotional body. So here, ask yourself, how am I really feeling today? And just observe what emotions are coming up. Don't judge and don't try to figure out why you're feeling like this. Just be fully present with your emotions, allowing them to come, being grateful for them, and then with each exhale, letting them go, feeling how they are leaving your energy space. Emotion is thought that it's energy in motion. So, for us to allow this energy to really flow into our body, we need to firstly acknowledge its presence. Really, honestly, see here how you're feeling. And observe how at each exhale, the emotions are flowing out. And we'll slowly now move towards our mental body. And here, our mind is usually very, very busy. There are many thoughts coming, going. We call this our monkey mind. It's never stopping. So here again, I encourage you to observe. You can imagine how each thought is going into a balloon, and then you're just allowing this balloon to fly away into a clear blue sky. And again, don't try to go into the stories of your thoughts. Don't engage with them. Don't try to find solutions or to continue them. Just observe how they're coming in, think maybe for 1 second, and they're there, then they're leaving. Allowing your mind to get clearer, more spacious, and more undisturbed. And don't forget to breathe here. With each breath out, you can release those thoughts. We don't need them right now. And if you're feeling distracted or there is any thought that's a bit more persistent, try to focus on the breath. Focus on the way the air is coming through your nostrils, both it's entering your body, into your belly, and then from the belly through the chest, it's coming out again through the nostrils, a bit warmer. Observe this flow that brings clarity and tranquility. And I invite you to slowly put your left hand on your chest, on your heart space, and then the right hand above. And tune in here into your heart. The heart is our center of connection, of balance. It said that it's the middle point of the earth and the earth energy and the air energy, the sky. The heart is our center of love, of compassion, and through the heart we can connect with others. And you can imagine here how with each inhale there is a small ball of light that when you inhale it becomes a bit larger, and with each exhale it sends love and compassion into your whole system, into your whole body. You breathe in and the ball of light becomes larger, and with the exhale this energy spreads through your whole body. In our day-to-day life we tend to pay more attention to what our mind says and not so often connecting with our heart. And the heart has a lot to say, and it can guide us a lot if you allow it, if you make space for it. So stay here for a couple more breaths, feeling maybe your heartbeat, the warmth of the heart space, and how this warmth is spreading through your whole body. Really allowing the heart energy to achieve and to reach every single cell in the body, every single small particle. And here again, we will take one deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. Uh, and slowly, when you feel ready, you can open your eyes, come back into your space, observing the room around you, the screen. So I hope you're feeling a bit calmer, a bit more connected. And from this space, I want to invite you today to think what is your intention for this workshop. I want you to really, it's not necessary that you share it. Um, you can also write it down somewhere by yourself. Just feel what is your intention, what are you in need of right now. This is very important, and for me also as community professional, I think connecting with the heart and really taking this time to calm our energy, calm our nervous system, it really allows us to think a bit more clearly, to really understand what is happening at the moment and what is the intention behind our actions. Because when we do things as community builders, we really want to be of service and we really want to help, but sometimes we forget the real intention that is in ourselves. So it's very important to find this place of connection and from this connection to move forward. So if you're ready with the intention, just keep it somewhere so that it can remind you during the workshop how is it for you right now. And here I wanted, before we go to some bit more other tips about self-care and what can help us a lot when we are community professionals, I really wanted to bring attention to a tool that I found very useful and I think it's very important. Maybe some of you know it, maybe some of you don't. Yeah, this is the art of active listening. And the art of active listening, I started for practicing it during my yoga teacher training. And it was a very important moment for us because during this training, it was for 3 months, we were going through a lot of things. And not everybody around in our surroundings, like our family or friends, were usually understanding what is going on. And usually this is also the occasion, and this is the case for the members of our communities. So the members of our communities, they tend to be in these places or in these spaces because they know that they can be understood there and they can be accepted there. And the art of active listening is very helpful not only for us as community builders and not only for our community members, but also for us in our day-to-day life. It's really a way that help us be fully present with the other person, help us really foster this deep connection with others and to really be able to understand others and support them. And what I usually see and what is very common, I think, especially for community builders, is that we really want to save others and we really want to help others. And sometimes the thing is that most people, they just need to be heard and they don't need somebody to come with advices, with things that will resolve their problems. Of course they do, but that's not always the case. And the art of active listening is exactly this. It's something that really can help also our members to feel really seen and but not also safe, because this is something that uh, is there is this triangle called the triangle of a victim, savior, and abuser. And when we want to save somebody, we are turning this person into a victim. And this is very much the case when we are trying to give advices, to really share from our own experience, but sometimes people don't need that. So the art of active listening is actually allowing us to leave this space for others. And what I wanted to ask you is to maybe try to practice it in the next couple of days, maybe with your family, maybe with your partners, with your friends. And how we do active listening is that, first of all, uh, we open the space and we share with others. Okay, now it's time for active listening. This means that one person is talking for X amount of time and the other person is only listening. The other person doesn't have the right to interrupt. The other person that doesn't have the right to stand and go. And this is also very helpful when we are in a conflict because it really actually allows us to listen. And what is the most important thing is that when we are actively listening, we are present. So a lot of times where people are sharing, I've observed this with myself, we tend to start thinking at a certain point, okay, now I will do this, and we go a lot into our heads. But the art of active listening is actually telling us, okay, you have to be here for the other person, because after the other person stops sharing, you have to reshare what you've experienced. So here you have to do like a short summary of what they shared, not what is your opinion about it, but what they shared in this moment. To share if you noticed any body clues. So if you notice anything particular about their body language, if you've noticed anything particular about what words are they using, or what how are they looking with their eyes, anything. And lastly, you need to say how this was making you feel. So what uh, for example, when somebody is sharing, you can say, this made me feel a bit sad, or this made me feel very angry. But You don't have to justify why, you just share why this has happened. And this helps us a lot to be present in the moment and to really understand how our different emotions happening in our body during the active listening. But also we understand um, like how we can really be present for the others. And for the other person, it's also very helpful because when they hear this summary, they sometimes they don't notice what they're saying. And it's really like a check-in, like a reality check. They're like, aha, maybe this. And it's a very nice exercise that helps us really understand what is happening and not just go in a like sharing without any context, but really be meaningful and be intentional about what is happening. So what you can try is you can maybe exercise this either in your communities or, as I mentioned, with your partners, with your friends. These two questions: what went strong for you today, and what went wrong for you today? And by strong, I mean what was something that happened that made you feel strong, that made you feel powerful. It it can be something bad or something that wasn't the way you wanted, but it should remind you about this inner power that you have in yourself. And this exercise that is very helpful to really understand that even some things, maybe the thing that went wrong is the thing that went strong for us as well, is the thing that made us powerful. And to really understand that things, even if they go wrong, they sometimes are like not so like bad or anything. Um, so just stop here for a moment if there are any questions or any comments, and I will continue.
No questions. That was a really, really good meditation. Like, I wish I had a recording, just a audio recording of it. I would definitely do that every day.
Yeah, you can like cut it from the recording
Yeah,
and
I think
yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
to. And
yeah,
I've never had a meditation set where you start with the movement and kind of like the dancing. It actually does help you like feel settled when you find the
yeah,
stillness. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, cool. I'm happy to hear that.
no, it was a really, really good meditation. Thank you.
No worries, of course. Um, so other things that I wanted to share and some ideas how we can rebalance ourselves. And I know that there are now many, many things that we can read and we can experience, we talk about, and I really love that this space is really open and we are sharing more and more how we are going through turbulent times. This is very important, and I feel this is the first step of actually rebalancing ourselves to be able to acknowledge that we are going through a difficult time and to be able to ask for help. Um, I just wanted here to mention some a bit different approaches for how we can rebalance that maybe are not so common or maybe that are not so widespread, especially in the community space. And the first one is somatic movement. Somatic movement is exactly what we did in the beginning. Is going into your body, feeling what is happening, not caring about the final result of the movement, not caring how the movement is looking, but being fully present in the body. So how you can practice somatic movement? You can either do the shaking that we did earlier, you can also put another song, you can also just put any song that you like and just move freely. You don't have to have a choreography, you don't have to follow any steps, just allow the body to move in any direction that it wants. Of course, there are a lot of also somatic movement classes. I think they're quite popular now. You can try to find in the city that you are. There are different things like social presenting theater. This is another like also somatic movement practice that really help us connect to situations through the body and to express with our body what is happening in the situation. There is also something called contact improvisation that is also very nice because it's usually with a partner. So it also fosters connection, and it also fosters this presence in ours, because in order to do this contact improvisation, you have to be very present with the movements of the other person. And all of these different things, they really help us go out of the mind and into the body. Because usually, of course, any sport is very helpful, like exercising, gym, yoga, and so on. But what I've noticed, and so what I also heard from some close friends of mine, or like people that I've met, that also during these practices, people tend to be a lot in their mind. So we tend to be, for example, during yoga, thinking, okay, I have to do this after the yoga, or uh, how can I do this? Or maybe you, if you're in a class, looking at the others and being, oh, I cannot do this. And it's always something in the mind. Uh, Somatic movements really help us feel the body, because it's like the main idea is that we connect to the body and we don't listen to the mind, we listen to the body. If our hand wants to move, or if our leg wants to move, this is what this practice fosters and encourages to do. Another thing that recently has become very useful for me, and also um, I think in the last year I was also observing it a lot, but I wasn't able to formulate it, is the concept of wabi sabi. Wabi sabi, for the ones who haven't heard of it, this is a Japanese philosophy, so to say. It's a part of the Japanese culture, and it's basically allows us and encourages us to accept the imperfection in the world, in ourselves, in what we do, and to accept the simplicity. And I think that as community builders, we tend to want to do it all for the members. We want to do these events and this content, and we want to um, do this like automation for this process to make it a bit smoother. And we really try to be very perfect, and to create perfect community that are really helping others. Of course, this principle of wabi sabi, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't strive for better, so for something better, or we shouldn't be uh, motivated or ambitious about achieving more. But it's about really accepting that we never can achieve perfection. We cannot never be perfect in whatever we do as community builders. And I feel that we there is a lot of like at the moment buzzing around different topics about community. There is a lot of content out there, and maybe some people are feeling very also tense about it, about different blogs that they cannot read, or different practices they cannot apply. And this really helps us think about, okay, what is actually, how can we accept also the simplicity of the experience? How can we really accept the imperfection and to see the beauty of it? And there is a very nice book of Wabi Sabi by the author Beth Kempen, and it there he looks at different approaches of how we can apply Wabi Sabi in our life, like from our home to the connection to the nature in our work, how we deal with failure, how we deal um, with accepting and surrendering. So it's a very, very big topic. And for from what she was saying also in the book is that for Japanese people, they cannot actually explain what is wabi sabi, because this is something that they live with. They're just made with it, and they cannot really explain in words. So it's very interesting. If you're more curious, I really encourage you to dive a bit deeper, because it really helps to just accept the place that we are, and to not really trying to always strive to this perfection, and to find the beauty in being imperfect also. Another very important thing for me, and I feel that this is also very important, of course, for us as community professionals, but also like personally, is to connect with the inner child. The inner child, and there are a lot of different like ways to connect to the inner child. And for me, the biggest are playing and being creative. So when we play and when we tap into creativity, we really allow this to move a bit more into in us, to allow us to to invite a bit more inspiration, a bit more connection as well. And the inner child is also connected with a lot of pureness and a lot of, again, like children not really thinking about like why are they doing something or why they want to go somewhere. They just know that they want to do that. So connecting to this really also connected to our deep intuition, which also is very important because when we are community builders, we really need to use this intuition, especially in tough situations when we don't know what to do, when we don't know how to deal with certain things. And it really helps us also, uh, this inner child, to find the joy of the work that we do, to find the laugh and the inspiration and just the playfulness, and to not take everything super seriously. Because when we come into this very um, the inner adult, I would say it, or the inner parent, then we tend to be very strict with ourselves, very strict with the work we do, and we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And I personally experienced this a lot in my life. uh, I used to inner parent think myself a lot, and especially when we want to help others in communities and we want to create spaces that are very healing and very helpful and very deep for others, it's important that we create this pure energy in ourselves. The next thing I would say is that we should honor our cycle. And this is, I feel, a big topic. I've noticed that we tend to, first of all, put a lot of our community work into the same tempo all of the time. So we don't really think that, first of all, for our members, that they may be going through certain cycles in their life, the different seasons even. We know that a lot of the seasons, they are just opening space for something different, like autumn and winter a bit more introspective, while summer and spring are a bit more outgoing. And when we can synchronize our communities to that, we can really also like move with the natural movements of like life. And when we talk about our own cycles as community builders, here for me, we can look at two different parts. We can look at the masculine cycles, which is the 24-hour cycle of the sun. And this is important because here we can really understand, okay, from which part of the day I am mostly active, from which part of the day is for me the better one. Am I more creative in the morning, or am I more productive in the afternoon? Can you actually balance your tasks according to the cycle of the day? And then it comes the other feminine cycle, which is, we women, we usually have it naturally, which is our menstrual cycle, but also like when men can work with this feminine cycle, this is the cycle of Mother Moon. And usually this is a lot about around full moons and new moons. And there is a lot of, because like the moon, we know it affects water and we are mainly made by water. It's normal that also the moon is affecting us. And usually around full moons, we are a bit more tense, a bit more emotional. So it's for this time, it's better to be not so engaged in the things that we do, to be a bit more also introspective, to maybe do things that are not so, that don't require so much energy from ourselves. While when it's the period between the new moon and the full moon, then we are a bit more outgoing. It's like the spring and the summer, like in our life. So it helps us to really create new things, be more connecting to others, allows us to be a bit more extrovert. So really, we can think about these first 2 weeks of the moon cycle, like the new moon to the full moon, like the extrovert time, and then the introvert time, which really helps us also schedule different way our work, and helps us also to really balance a bit more. Like what I've noticed is I usually try to, also as a woman, I'm really honoring my cycle. And when it's the introvert time, I try to not have any community meetings. I try to be a bit more productive and to do tasks that really, uh, really just want my own attention and don't really force me to like speak with others or to do webinars, to hold spaces and so on, because this really it's very exhausting. And when we do this in the second cycle, which is more introverted, we get really exhausted. And with that comes the next uh, final tip, which for me is the balancing of the feminine and masculine. And maybe you've heard a lot about this, maybe you haven't, but basically you don't have to be a woman to have feminine energy only, or you don't have to be only a man to have masculine. So each person is built by feminine and masculine energy. And what I mean is this is the balance between yin and yang, if you want like this example. And the feminine and masculine are usually things that, like, they really are energies and ways that we can create our lifestyle that really support us. So the feminine is a lot about flexibility, spontaneity, sensuality, playfulness, and emotions. While the masculine is about a lot about support, about ambition, and about space, and about authority and inner power. So when we balance both of these energies, we can also like help us to help others create spaces and help our members really balance these energies. And they're very important because when we feel this balance, so for example, what happens when the feminine is more, people tend to be very over emotional, people tend to be very uh, cannot really be focused in what they do. They cannot schedule things. They are very chaotic. So maybe if this is something for you or like for your work as community builder, you can think, okay, how can I invite the masculine? And this would be, how can I invite more structure in my day? How can I invite a bit more? How can I set a bit more goals to be a bit more ambitious? How can I invite my inner power? While when the masculine is in balance, then we tend to have too much of this inner fire, which is the masculine. And then sometimes we are very much about, we have to go after our schedule, like on 100%. Like we are super strict about our schedules. We are super strict about our goals. We don't allow things to flow and we are not flexible. And what usually happens when we are too much in our masculine is that we can burn out. I've experienced this in my life. I was observing this a lot at a couple 1 2 years ago, and I noticed that I'm a lot in my masculine energy. I was really scheduling minute by minute my day, my things for community builder for the community. I was also, the masculine is also about attaching to the result, while the feminist is about the process. So when we attach a lot to the result and when the result is not good, then we tend to beat ourselves up. Then we tend to be very like to see things as failure and so on. And all of these things tend to lead to a burnout. So really being a bit aware of these two energies and two like polarities in our life, like the feminine and the masculine, can really help us take a bit more awareness and be a bit more connected to, okay, like, am I going a bit too much in one direction and how can I bring the balance back? And this can be done with different practices. As I mentioned, feminine is about energy, it's about emotional fluidity. So maybe doing something with our body, moving, creating, being like going cooking or like going to an art class. This is really about the feminine. Then the masculine is about, as I mentioned, ambition, about power. So maybe doing something a bit more powerful, maybe going to the gym, um, maybe setting more goals and trying to achieve these. So really, or if we have some project that we left behind, maybe trying to work on this project and invite a bit this inner fire. Um, So these are some things that I wanted to share with you. And I just wanted before I end to ask again, is there any questions or like any comments or anything?
I think no questions for me. I think that was very, very interesting, and would love if you want to put in chat the book. I can also
Yes,
be sure to share that with other people.
yes,
Very
yes.
intrigued.
I'll do that just after the play.
Okay, yeah, sounds great.
Cool. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to lastly share that when we hear self-care, we are attaching a lot of guilt around it. And a lot of people think that when they are taking care of themselves, they're being selfish, they're like putting other things behind and they cannot do that. Or like they take care of themselves when they deserve it. I want really to bring a lot of attention that this is super wrong. Like we deserve at any certain minute to take care of ourselves if we need it, if we need space, if we need 1 hour of laying down, of doing nothing, we deserve that and we can allow ourselves to do that. And this is one quote about self-care, that self-care is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. And when we learn that we self-care of others, we can really also care of others and take care of others. Um, and here I will just invite you after the session ends to really maybe think and maybe write down, looking at your intention, how this intention, if this intention was fulfilled, and also maybe thinking of one thing that you can start doing every day for yourself. 10 pages of reading per day, self-care, skincare routine in the morning, cooking something healthier, going for a walk, like anything, just try to do it, maybe for 2, 3 weeks. And if you need anything, you can always come back and share and be, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I haven't done it. And if you haven't done it, or if you do it for a couple of days and then you stop, it's still okay. Like you just don't remember to don't beat yourself up. Um, and the last thing that before I end, I would invite you also to write an affirmation for yourself that you can tell yourself each day. And you can stick it somewhere on your laptop, you can put it on the fridge, you can put it on the mirror, you can make it as a wallpaper. And other affirmation that I'm working with in the last week, because I'm currently in Spain, I'm with a lot of women entrepreneurs. There is a lot of, yeah, at certain moments, tension, you're observing how others are doing. And of course, my imposter syndrome was very triggered. So something that I decided to work with is this affirmation: I'm unique, I'm not an imposter. And this I'm trying each day during meditation to remind myself about it when I wake up. So I really invite you to do this. It's a very small thing that you can start doing and really makes the difference. Um, so yeah, I hope this was very helpful for you. Thank you. This is the Spanish muchas gracias because I'm in a very Spanish mood. And yeah, if you need any support at any moment, even if you need any meditation or anything, you can always reach out to me. I'm always here to connect, to support, to share, and I'm just urging you to take care of yourself as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. That was amazing. I'm going
Thank
to
you. Thank you.